Happy Sunday, everybody. I am in Clermont, Florida at Lake Louisa State Park. Today is Sunday, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and we're gonna camp out here for a couple of days. Now, Lake Louisa State Park has multiple amenities, including horseback riding, kayak rentals, bike rentals, tons of trails, multiple lakes. They even have sites here for glamping that are already built out. So if you're just dipping your toes in the water for the first time and camping, they essentially have tents set up already, fully accommodated with heating and cooling and regular sized beds and things like that in there for you. Lake Louisa State Park also has cabins for rent, primitive campsites for rent, or a campsite like we're in today, which is basically full hookup or RV/tent type accommodations. The pricing for where I'm staying today is just north of 20 bucks, but I'll put a link to the website below for the park so you can get up-to-date pricing. Now, I'm in site 27. It faces out towards the lake, and that is west, so we should get a pretty good sunset. Lots of wildlife here and birds, as you could hear. Now, each campsite has a picnic table and fire ring, and this is a pull-through site, but they do have back-in sites as well. And there is a site right next to me, but there's some pretty big vegetation here which would block any type of visibility. And we have a couple of Christmas presents for Mary and Jess to test out here today, so we got a little bit of an upgrade than the standard 4-person tent. We got a Gazelle Overland Edition T4 tent. Got a little rocking chair here too. And for those not familiar with this particular tent, it is a pop-up tent, literally comes out of the bag. You just pull each side and then pop the top, put the rainfly on, less than 90 seconds. And we'll unzip these. These are some big zippers in here as well. But this is what we're looking at inside. I do have a little heater there. I'm not sure if I'll use it tonight. It's supposed to dip down into the 30s, which is super cold for Florida. But I bought the inflatable mattress, taking advantage of the electric hookup here, and sleeping bag. We got a little lantern hung up top here too. We could either use that netting for storage, or there's storage around each side of the tent here as well. So plenty of room, even with the queen size mattress in this tent, for more than 2 people. If you had 2 people, and bring your belongings in here as well. But I'll tell you what, this view does not suck for the next couple of days. Unfortunately, no Mary on this trip. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. Some places give off the employees off and other places don't, and Mary's job is one of those that does not. But for those not in the know with campsite booking, it's usually pretty difficult to find weekends for many months. You can book, I think, up to 11 months in advance, and typically Saturdays are like winning the lotto. So when we booked this, we booked Sunday and Monday and leave Tuesday. We weren't sure at the time if Mary would be able to have off, and here I am, and looks like Mary gets a couple of days off from me as well. Alright, let's go take a little tour around the campsite here. My neighbors are just pulling in. Gonna head over to the dock. One of my neighbors has a tent also. That's cool. And the restrooms. Let's go check out the dock and go fishing here. Beautiful Spanish moss here. Lovely foreground for some sunset pictures, hopefully. And I can see my campground from here. And there are some people fishing. There's a marker over here for water. It goes up to about 7 feet. Check this out. Gorgeous. This is the other side facing my campground. You can see the cabins that they have for rent. Off in the distance there. Oh, there's a turtle over here. Hello, turtle. And there are caution signs here for gators. Although I don't see any. I'm sure they're in there. Over here we have the wash house, bathhouse, restroom, women's, cut through little area to wash your dishes. And they do have washing machines here too, pay washing machines. Bring your trash to the dumpster. And we'll cut through here and you got a men's room. Here's a very quick tour of the bathroom. So you got a handicap stall, urinal, sinks, and full showers. Very clean. Just to give you perspective, it's the wash house, campsites. These are the glamping sites that I was telling you about earlier. You can rent them out. Tent's already built. All the accommodations have beds, heating, cooling, anything you need like a hotel room. And I think there's a regular glamping site and then kind of a deluxe glamping site. We've got the camp store where you can rent bicycles, get ice, wood, and right across from the camping store are canoes and kayaks that you can rent as well. And another dock for fishing. You can see out there, folks with kayaks, catching fish. Canoers over here. Hoping that we can rent one of these guys tomorrow. And these are the bikes that you can rent. They're not intended to take on the trails. So they do have a dump station here too, for the sites that don't have any dumping for your RVs, trailers. It's pretty awesome. As you're walking around, it's just the sound of kids, people outside enjoying things, not necessarily at a theme park or anywhere, but just having fun themselves. Alright, so it's 4 o'clock. We're going to start dinner so that way we can get some sunset pictures hopefully in another hour. We got NFL playoffs going on. We got a fine Pilsner beer. We are making Spanish rice and turkey breast strips. And we're off and cooking. Alright, I got my food. We're almost to sunset time. Time to wash up. Easy breezy. So here you go. Sunset technically 50 minutes from now. It's very cloudy, so I'm not sure what we're going to be able to see. But we are going to wait and see and soak it all in. We've got like a half an hour to go. But it's starting to happen. I'm going to take a walk down by the dock. Alright. A little time lapse. Alright, so that is sunset day 1. So as it starts to get dark, the smell of campfires is permeating the air. And as the sun is down and campfires are up, it's time for me to get started on mine. And we're underway. Now it's time for the Bucks and Saints playoffs. Got our fire going. Pretty cloudy night. Not the best for seeing stars, that's for sure. So the fire died out. I've made it into the tent. Heater is working. It actually works brilliantly. This thing was like 15 bucks at Lowe's. As long as you have electric. Lantern working overhead. And again, plenty of room to put stuff all around in here. And of course we had sunset on one lake. We've moved over to the other side to face east. For sunrise here this morning. Check this out. It's just about there. The sun is coming up. It also looks like something might be launching out here. A couple more minutes in here and you can see definitely something going up in the sky, but I don't think it's SpaceX today. And here it is. The big reveal. There's no going back to sleep now. Well, Maybe there is. I was able to nap for about another 40 minutes, but it's time for breakfast. Cheers, everybody. Now I promise you, this tastes better than what it looks like. Alright, showered up. Let's do a little adventuring. We've got a garbage location so we can make our dump for the day. So, just beyond this volleyball court, there's something here that's really cool. You can pay for. It's guided horse trail tours. You have single-hour tours, multi-hour tours. You can find their pricing on their website. I think it runs about 55 bucks an hour or so. You can also camp with your horses here. They do have equestrian camping as well. One important note if you're looking to go horseback riding here at Lake Louisa Park, there is a form that you need to complete online, which they look at your body fat measurement. So it's not only height and weight, it's your overall BMI, which if it's under 31, I believe, you can ride. If it's over 31, you're out of luck. Horses out that way. We'll make a stop off at another one of these docks on Lake Dixie or Dixie Lake. There's a little pavilion here for picnicking and barbecues. Sign for what kinds of fish you can catch here. I did see people catching bass yesterday. And there is a launch spot here if you have your own boat or canoe. I love the tall grass here. I made a stop at the ranger station for the Florida State passports. Online, they're sold out. They tell you to go to the parks, and unfortunately when you go to the park, they say that they're sold out, and to check online. And on my way out to the ranger station, I did see a trooper over here handing out a ticket for speeding in here. The speed limit is 25 miles an hour, but believe it or not, there is a speed trap inside this park. I'm going to make a detour, take us up by the cabin loop here. Get a little bit of an outside view of what the cabins look like. Cabins are all nicely secluded here. Nice front porch. A little grilling station outside. Picnic table. And nice views. So you have a view, one lake there, and you have a little body of water here too. Now one thing I probably failed to mention already is that Lake Louisa State Park is just a stone's throw away from Disney, so everyone looking to camp maybe at Fort Wilderness and seeing like the campground there is kind of super expensive. Here, at least for tent camping, it runs like 23 bucks a night, and then upwards to the cabins, which are just north of 100 bucks a night. So I'll put a link to the prices or to the website where you can find the prices down below. But it is a good alternative for those seeking to camp and also get to Disney. A couple of these cabins look right out onto the water here. Ooh, look at that fire pit. Super cool. So, there are 20 cabins overall to book. And the way that these are situated, it's almost like each cabin has its own little personality as far as views. Alright, let's get a little walking in. Markers. The green swamp matrix. Look out for Neo. So what do you think dug all of these little holes here? So there was a sign back there directing you for the different trails. Apparently there's about 23 miles worth of trails here. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my. Passing by lots of birds. The bird's like, don't film me. Reached a place a little bit off the path here. This is like something straight out of a horror movie. Straight onto sand. For the amount of sand that's in my shoes now, I hope there's a big payoff at the end of this trail. So straight from sand to pine. Very much feels like I'm up north. This reminds me of Savannah, right next to it. Some burnt out trees. There was an amazing woodpecker on this tree, but of course when I got the camera out, he flew away. Waiting to see if he comes back. Come over to this area, it kind of looks like the Forbidden Forest or something. Spooky. So not a lot of animal sightings so far. I did see a bobcat this morning on the way back to the bathroom or rest house, but did not have anything to film it with. And probably thankfully so, because I made a quick dash back to camp. And by the way, while I am outdoors by myself, not wearing a mask, when I come in contact with other folks, walking past them on paths, etc., put the mask on. And I will say, for the most part, the other guests that I've come in contact with have been doing the same. That was a nice little 3.5 mile hike. Now we'll see what else we can find around here. I was sitting at the campsite. I noticed I had a little friend here. I can't see because I don't have a zoom lens what kind of a bird this is. I thought it was either a hawk or an owl. That's about as far as the zoom on this camera goes. All cleaned up again. I will leave links to items that I use while camping in the description down below. They are affiliate links from Amazon for the most part, or if it's not from Amazon, it's a non-affiliate link. But one thing that's come in handy so far is this thermocell, which basically does a pretty good job at keeping an aura of space around, about 15 feet or so, of no mosquitoes or bugs. And while it is January and not typically a heavy bug season, I am right near the water, and there are plenty of no-see-ums and little gnats and mosquitoes and all kinds of creepy crawlies. But this has worked really well at keeping the bugs away from me while I'm eating food. So after lunch and a little rest, I've made my way back down by the trails and by the beach. Got a little bit of a boardwalk here. And a lot of swamp. There you go. Here's the beach. Beach to a lake with alligators. Got a monument on the beach for somebody that had crashed here, and they unearthed him and his craft back in the 40s. There's plenty of picnic tables here and grills if you came down to the beach and actually went swimming or just enjoying the water. There's a very important sign. The water is dark, not very clear, and no lifeguard. We've got folks swimming here. I guess the good news is I don't see any of our fine, tough-skinned friends over here. By the way, I am told that people swim here regularly when they are camping at Lake Louisa State Park. I would not, but I would not judge others. It does seem kind of risky, though. This is more on the Army First Lieutenant Dean Gilmore, where we have the monument on the beach. And I do want to note the playground is on the beach as well. I'm not sure if I captured any shots, but I wasn't intending to, because there are little kids playing in that area. And get a little bit more walking in. There's a fine mix of shoe prints and animal prints here. And I found where the bats live. And I don't see them, but I can hear them. Chances are they're probably going to see me before I see them. Mr. Alligators. Hello, alligator. I hear you. I found a little cactus. It's almost that time again. We've got about an hour until full sunset, so we're going to set up a little time lapse here. Alright, so having multiple cameras might help here because it looks like this is getting really overexposed in the time lapse. So then I started another time lapse on the phone. I think I'll walk down to the dock, get some pictures. Well, this is what it's looking like. Less cloudy than yesterday, but almost no clouds for the sun to reflect off of. It is time to eat again, and this time around, we're going the old basic Dinty Moore stew, keep things easy. Time to start fire up again too. So it is a whopping 7 o'clock at night. The temperature is dropping rapidly. I'm already in the tent with the heater on. That's how wussed I become. Well, this is the last morning. We're just gonna go oatmeal and coffee. One last day of not so great coffee. But I don't feel like cleaning up any more dishes. So we're skipping the eggs and bacon and just doing the oatmeal. But the birds are back. And it's sunny. And that's it. Packed up with that tent. It's still a little early in the morning. We're gonna get a little hike in before we head out. A little sign here about scorpions being in the park. Coral snakes. King snakes. Bald eagles, owls, bobcat. I just saw yesterday morning. And I hope I don't see again. It's super quiet here. Peaceful. Something big is moving over there. We got some horseshoe prints here too. And we're gonna head up towards where primitive camping is. We've come up on this stream. reached Pine Point. Look at this bridge. Moving on. I love how the trail path just keeps changing. And these trails are seemingly endless. There's seemingly a bench in the middle of nowhere that's facing this tree, which has lost most of its limbs. When you see a bench, you sit on the bench. If you are primitive camping here, it is a bit of a hike to the campsite, and a lot of it is through this very loose sand, which almost feels like walking in snow if you are from up north. It's not very easy to walk through. I do drink out of one of these Life straw bottles because it's easy enough that if you have any fresh water along the way, you can just scoop this in and it will filter it out. So you don't need to look for any fresh water sources from a tap, that is. Alright, that is going to do it for my trip to Lake Louisa State Park in Clermont, Florida. Again, this is only about 25 minutes or so from Disney. If you are looking to combine camping and Disney, and Fort Wilderness is a little high on the price scale, or if it's full, this is always an option. This park is beautiful. There are tons of trails, tons of things to see: kayaking, canoeing, biking, horseback riding, and incredible views for sunrises and sunsets. But on that note, we're out of here, so thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. See you guys.